Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
This is normally a show where we take three books united under one theme and then compare them and contrast them and decide which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly. But this time, we're doing kind of a solo issue special on Spider-Man Special Edition, The Trial of Venom. This was a UNICEF comic book, so you could only get this book if you paid $5, all of which the proceeds went to UNICEF. Now you can actually get it on Comixology for $2.
Does that go to UNICEF?
No, that goes that goes to Jeff Bezos. But this book is funny because not only was it $5, but when they printed it, they printed the actual retail price of what it should have been, which is $1.25 on the cover.
Ouch.
You know, this is one of those hallowed books from my childhood, like the Captain Universe special. There's a Captain Universe comic book. You submitted your name, your gender, your information, and then you spent like some amount of money, and then they printed the book with your name. And you know, they drew two different versions where there was a girl Captain Universe and a boy Captain Universe, and and what you like to do and what town you grew up in, and like two friends.
Oh my god, I know books like that. I've received Christmas books like that.
Nice.
Oh. I've never heard of this.
Ever. Well, you can't really get it anywhere. You had to have followed that procedure back in like '94 or whatever. And
did you get one?
I did not get one. I didn't get to send a lot of mail when I was a kid because I definitely would have sent a lot of mail as a kid.
What is up with Marvel and trials?
The conceit of a trial is implied drama. Boom.
I know, but I'm just thinking specifically how many Marvel characters have been on trial.
That's true.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So this takes place after Avengers, The Vault, Death Trap.
Spoilers.
Yes, and they
it's
reference
a
it.
one-off.
And they reference it.
Yeah.
Although there are some inconsistencies, of course. I don't think Moonstone is supposed to be in the vault at this point specifically, nor is she supposed to be turning over a new leaf. Regardless,
But she's hot and they wanted to draw her
why
in a
not
bikini,
draw
so-
a sexy lady in a bikini? There's not a lot of opportunities for that in this issue.
It's funny because, so they're showing her on the beach to explain the reward system, reward punishment system, where if you're good, you get this holographic projector to display whatever you want, and she chooses a beach. I thought that was just being gratuitous.
Yes, but it's actually
really
a
weird.
writing thing.
Yep.
Well, this page literally does have the most words on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it
Like
is
there's a
filled with
lot.
words.
This is.
It's
I was
true.
like, okay, I'm in for it now. And then I was like,
Oh, no, it's not really that.
oh no, they really just wanted to give me some time on this.
Yeah, well, they needed to really linger on that moment. But really, they also wanted to give you some context for
Yeah.
where we are, when we are, and what's going on. The Vault is a Supermax prison in the Colorado Rockies. They keep the villains here. Iron Man has donated technology for the guardsmen. Then he rescinded it during the Armor Wars.
Yeah.
But then I guess he brought it back. It doesn't matter. The point is there's green Iron Men that look like, called guardsmen. They're the de facto security force for the Vault. Venom is constantly in here. He constantly escapes and then constantly makes the hike from Colorado back to New York to fight Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Big
or
thumbs.
just like clings to the bottom of a plane.
Yep. Yeah. Just, except like I feel like the extreme cold would get to him, but whatever. So we're walking through a cell. Venom has cleverly figured out ways of escaping his captivity before, particularly from the Vault. In this particular case, we see that apparently Eddie Brock is writhing in fear. The Venom symbiote is dead.
Dun, dun, dun.
What?
And foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
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 Or the
It's having a
flap.
bad time.
It killed itself.
For no reason, it killed itself.
Yep.
It just couldn't take life anymore.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was just tired of being cooped up, even though it can get out whenever it wants. Seemingly.
Yep.
Yeah.
But not this time.
Not this
No,
time.
not this time.
Well, it just had one too many rejections of Spider-Man. Just like, you know what? Nah, I'm killing myself.
Now, Sal, can you explain what was going on prior
Just gonna flip back to this naked lady. real quick.
Hang
this in Venom's story?
It's right before Lethal Protector, I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he is going to go on trial
Yep.
for just
Oh, for all the murders he's taken.
all the adventures.
Well, they're like, now we can have a trial.
Right, because he's never been
Because he's just a
cognizant
guy.
enough. Yeah, we can actually make him sit on the chair under
I
penalty
see.
of the bailiff. As
You know how
opposed to,
hard
like,
it is to have a trial when sonic guns are just blasting its
Yeah,
Right.
nobody can
It's
hear
very
anything.
distracting.
Exactly. Well, plus he's not cognitive enough to stand trial.
Right. Venom can't stand trial.
No, but Eddie Brock
we
can.
Venom can just go in a cell.
Yes, we can
But
put
Eddie
him over
Brock's
there.
a guy that we can see.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if the suit is dead, then Eddie Brock is just a jerk who's going to jail, like real jail.
Right.
not Supermax jail.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need to be across from the Grey Gargoyle anymore. He could just go to prison,
Right, we can
like
free
he
that
did
cell.
actually when Carnage was invented, because they seemingly killed the symbiote, Sticks and
Right.
Stone, little-known Spider-Man villains.
Right.
Killed the symbiote seemingly. Actually, it approximated death then too.
Oh, spoilers.
I don't want to give anything away, but you know.
You've given everything away.
Yeah.
You fool!
Obviously, the symbiote's not dead because we know there's
But
adventures with it after this.
it's pretty compelling and pretty convincing.
To
Brock
these
does
people, yeah.
Brock seems pretty upset.
He sells it, yeah.
So Spider-Man and Daredevil are swinging across the city, and Daredevil's got a proposition for Spider-Man, or
Yeah.
more or less, he's got like a dilemma because it's not a proposition. He's like,
Strong arming him.
yeah,
Well, no, they start off with a conversation where like Spider-Man's like, "For reals?"
yeah.
And you're
What?
like,
You're gonna
what?
put Eddie Brock on trial?
Well, he is, but not only that, but
He's going to defend him.
yeah,
Yeah, and
Matt
Matt
has to
Murdock
defend him
is
because
defense.
he's had experience with supervillains
That's
and
right.
heroes. So
Yes.
they're like, and he's pro bono.
right.
Yeah.
So for him to reject it, he's got to have a reason why.
And he can't give him a
Spider-Man's
reason.
like, just, you don't want to defend him.
Yeah.
yeah,
just say you
you don't
like
want to. He's like, but I kind of do.
But I believe in the law.
Right, sure, Matt. You don't want a free trip to Colorado. I get it.
Well, he's just saying, like, look, the only reason I have to give the judge is, like, what? My friend Spider-Man knows him and has been, a
Fighting
target of
him
his,
forever, yeah.
So it's kind of a conflict of interest.
Or-
you could lie, and
he
Daredevil's
doesn't
like,
want.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Or during the Sin Eater situation, Brock has connection with Daredevil and Spider-Man because both Spider-Man and Daredevil actually contributed to the reveal of his greatest
But
failure.
it's not like Daredevil's going into the court and being like, Judge, I can't defend him because I'm Daredevil.
Well, he can't do that either. Well, he won't do that until a couple of years.
But he's all about. He's like, but I believe in the law.
I believe in
and
the law.
I
It's
have
who I
to
am.
go through this.
Yeah. It's the same conversation they have, like, every book I've read where they're in it together, they have this
They have this conversation where Spider-Man's like,
How
just
can you
be a
defend these
vigilante.
people? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also he's like, by the way, I'm serving you basically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you also need to be there.
Just
Yep.
a heads up.
As Spider-Man.
As Spider-Man to testify.
You're a character witness.
Yeah. Or
Spider-Man's
something.
like, that sucks.
Yeah, and the reasoning is really shaky. He's like, nobody knows more about Venom than you.
He's not wrong.
Right. And Spider-Man's like, I'm gonna tell the truth.
Right.
Right.
As far as I can.
Yeah.
Really, he should have subpoenaed the Fantastic Four, who know him on a cellular level, because the Fantastic Four have actually
that's what I was wondering. 'Cause, like,
reposed
Spider-Man
Venom.
doesn't know anything about like how he works.
But
right?
he knows Brock personally.
Okay.
He knows his origin story because
Right.
Brock kept saying it over and over again whenever they fought. And also, of course, he has intimate knowledge because Spider-Man's personally responsible for the symbiote
That's
being
true.
here at all.
He has
But also at
been-
the same point, Daredevil knows that Peter Parker knows Brock.
Yes. Well, but Spider-Man
But
knows.
doesn't want him to be like, you don't have to bring that up in court.
Right.
But I know that you know, so I need you there.
Does the Marvel Universe know that when Spider-Man had a black suit?
that it was the symbiote.
Yeah.
It's not common knowledge, but it does come up.
Well, because I was just wondering if that's another reason. It's like, you've literally worn the symbiote.
Yes. There is a
should have
scene
been,
in a
but he doesn't
She-Hulk
mention
book
it.
where they list bringing the symbiote to Earth as one of Spider-Man's many mistakes. So it is a matter of public record and in
Right.
fact of legal accord.
Yeah, we're already
Right.
on that one, Watcher.
Right. So like that really should be a big part of it, where it's just like,
You're responsible.
Well,
for
no,
that.
no, not just that, but like
Hey,
his
don't use that
own
word.
ability to like whether or not he was in control or not.
Yeah, he could determine hey, look, when I wore the suit, it didn't grow a mouth and start murdering guards. You know what I mean?
Right. So, I mean, let's talk about that because that comes up in the trial.
Yes.
We're skipping ahead here, but we're not skipping anything important.
Nope.
So, yeah.
Aren't we?
Yeah, so we...
Come on, what about the attorney-client privileges and turning off the cameras?
Oh, right, that's right. So there's a lot of legal stuff.
Which is fun, but who
yeah,
cares? You
well,
can read it.
It's funny because I'm imagining children reading this and learning about client-attorney privilege
Yes.
from
Yeah.
Matt Murdock explaining to the guards that
Yep.
I gotta talk to my client, you have to turn off the camera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they have to.
They do.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
If you're a kid, I don't understand. Why would the police just listen to him?
Yeah.
It's like, well,
if
that's-
you're a kid who has
that's
access
the
to
law.
stamps, envelopes, and $5, you could definitely learn that. Unfortunately, because this book was exclusively held behind a paywall, it was impossible to get.
Yeah, but wouldn't you get your parents?
the
to do
reality
it?
is, Peter David infused that kind of stuff into all his comics. So, no matter what, you are learning something about the world.
Hey, if you
Yeah.
ever read a Daredevil book, you're getting that.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that I'll have. But anyway, the point is they bring it up in the trial because Spider-Man, of course, has to take the witness stand.
Yep.
And they've done this before. Actually, in the Marvel Universe, superheroes can take the stand under their visage.
Right.
They can also attend military and like formal events wearing their costumes, and it is basically considered to be like your military dress.
Right.
Like they can attend like formal events wearing their superhero costume.
Because you have a secret identity.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And apparently everyone's just fine with that.
Well, it's not
least
just they're not just fine
most
with
of
it.
the time.
There are like laws on the books about it.
I guess
There's protocol.
after the third time, the world was saved by some team of
Yeah,
superheroes.
like, all right, I guess.
Well, I guess I'd rather just have them than have to worry about these occasional instances where someone has to stand trial.
Yes.
Right, like what would we do if Dr. Doom took over if I made you unmask?
Right.
Yeah, and then you
and then
didn't
you
want
went
to
to
help
jail.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you were killed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right. I will say the biggest problem with this book for me is some of the panel layouts.
Yeah.
Like the word ballooning in this and the lettering is not the best at times.
No.
And like they don't make it super obvious the way in which they'd like you to read it.
This one's real bad.
Like this
And
page
there's
in
another
particular,
one that's,
I was
like,
like,
not
this
good.
is
It's
a problem.
I had to read all the balloons and then figure out what
What order they wanted me to
Yeah.
read them in? Yeah.
Yeah, especially because you have this panel in the middle here,
Yeah,
and like
this is bad.
Yeah.
This is out of place with
Yeah.
this. It's
so like that was really I was like,
It was a little
a little
jarring.
confusing. It's Matt trying to get Spider-Man to say something that will indicate that Eddie is not responsible for the actions of Venom.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, but Matt is way more antagonistic than I was expecting.
I was not, but it's only because I've seen Peter David write for Spider-Man and Daredevil, and
Right.
like whenever he does, despite the fact that like these guys are like bosom buddies by this point,
Right.
they are very antagonistic. Well, also
Matt
because
takes
like
his job really
Matt takes his
seriously.
job seriously, and Peter is not taking it
Matt
seriously.
needs to win. He's like,
yeah.
look, I'm a lawyer.
Yep.
I'm not going to
I'll
do
put
a
on my
bad
lawyer
job.
hat.
Right.
Yep. I'm not going to go easy on you because you're my friend.
Also,
'cause
like-
also people can't know.
You're making a goddamn joke out of my vocation. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to treat you like a hostile witness.
Yeah.
I mean, for Spider-Man, he's like, you're putting on trial a guy
Yeah.
who is the host to a symbiote acting like he's really dead, and I don't.
Yeah.
Buy
I don't even
it.
believe that he's even dead.
yeah.
He's an alien.
Yeah, you don't even know.
What?
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, I kind of agree with
Matt's
assessment. I'm like,
Yeah.
why is Spider-Man so sure that Eddie is responsible
Right.
and in control? Now, it could be no. I was gonna say it could be from his own experience, but no, because he knows that the thing went off when he was sleeping.
Yes.
and it was like doing stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
he should know better than anyone.
But when
that,
he was
like,
awake, he was
That's
in
true.
control
Yeah.
of it.
and
But
he
also,
didn't murder people.
Matt
Yeah.
interviewed Brock, and Brock didn't lie.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
he's,
Matt's
so,
radar
so
sense.
Matt's just like, my client's
Yeah.
perfect.
This is
So
how
here we
I.
go.
This is how I literally set every case.
I am
Is
always
through my lie detector.
This is how I win.
I used my secret weapon.
He's like, I'm
yeah.
like kind of a good attorney.
Right, or maybe I'm just using cheat codes.
But it's a little bit of both.
But it's also Peter David's interpretation of Peter is that he always swings first and asks questions later. That
Right.
Peter never really asked himself if Eddie was like responsible or not.
Right.
And now that he's finally hitting like the rubber meeting the road, he's like, oh my god, like
Yeah, like Matt's asking him these penetrating.
that he's never really
questions.
asked himself. So
Yeah.
like maybe I'm wrong.
He's like, well, I mean, there's a good reason for that. It's usually because there's like
He's trying to kill
10
me.
rows of teeth coming at me
Yeah.
with a crazy tongue. So
Right.
Yeah, I don't have time to think about the moral implications of the man inside the mask. But like, regardless, Matt really makes mincemeat out of Spider-Man's whole argument.
Yeah,
I
well,
love this like shocked.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what?
it's like when spider sense is going off.
Yeah, it's also like, to me, it's like his whole like.
His whole world is unraveling.
Yeah, just
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's like he's realized, like, oh, I've been defeated. What?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this defeat?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Eddie constantly, like, he's pouring it on. I'm really
Like,
sorry.
I'm so sorry. Can you ever forgive me?
Yeah.
I want to believe that Matt fed him that line.
Yeah.
He's like, in the middle
Ask
of
him
this,
for
you're gonna
forgiveness.
ask him for forgiveness.
Yeah.
I
It's
would
gonna be
not
out.
do that.
They're gonna squash it back, but like the jury will still have heard.
And I'm gonna tell you, like, don't speak.
Yeah.
You have to keep going.
Do it. Okay.
Trust me, it's really gonna win some points.
So Spider-Man has, I guess, his own attorney-client privilege, where he talks to Brock like about his secret identity later on.
Yes, because he knows.
Yeah,
Eddie knows
how
who
do
he
they
is.
not turn off the?
Yeah, they don't turn off the
well, he
cameras.
doesn't say
yeah.
who he is.
No, he doesn't. But he does say like,
Right.
listen, like he indicates, I am a chain. Like now that the symbiote's off of me and it's dead, like I'm gonna tell you, like I'm not gonna chase after you. Like I don't care about
I'm
you.
getting away from here.
I'm leaving. I'm gonna leave you and your wife alone.
Right. I'm going to San Francisco.
I'm gonna live underground
be a
with homeless
protector,
people. It's
yeah.
gonna be great. No, he doesn't.
In a
That's only the plan with the
Victorian
symbiote.
society with gas lamps and stuff.
I'm really into history now.
Yeah,
I'm a big buff.
Yeah, right? Anyway, so But he's really selling it to Spider-Man, and it's just
Yeah.
further seemingly shaking Spider-Man's confidence.
Right.
He's like-
really selling that, like, no, he's
No.
a good guy.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
He's like, Spider-Man's like, is the Green Goblin a bad guy?
Yeah, oh my God.
Well,
Okay,
he takes that goblin formula and it turns him into a totally different person.
Okay,
Maybe
I
he's
gotta-
not responsible either.
I gotta take a few days and just think.
What about the rhino suit? Oh, Jesus!
What have I done? I'm the villain.
So the basic like thrust of Matt's argument is basically that, like, well, Eddie Brock didn't want to kill you before the Venom
Symbiote
got
got
onto him, so maybe it's not him.
Yeah. That the suit
Which
is
is
the
like,
corrupting influence.
okay,
Yeah,
like-
that's a fair argument to make. Any lawyer would make that
That
argument.
said, the prosecutor at that point should have like asked them to kind of put this whole thing on hold so they get a psychological analysis of Eddie Brock because
yes.
it's like
Well, they've never had that.
That's what
Yeah.
would really happen.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
They're going for an insanity
Plea.
and in that case, yeah, both sides bring out their experts, and
Yep.
the prosecutor says like, no, he's sane, and the other one says like, no,
No.
he's not, and
Yeah.
they make their arguments.
right.
And
No
that's
time
what-
for that.
But what's funny is that like his argument is that it's insanity, but now it's over.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Venom
Which is
itself.
bizarre.
Yeah,
It's
the
like-
symbiote
was
made
the
me
insanity.
insane.
Right.
So he gets to go free.
Right.
Yes,
So the
correct.
prosecutor needed to make the argument that he was always insane.
Yes.
Right.
Because they even make the point of saying, like, what was he doing before he got the suit? He's like, oh, he was going to kill himself. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so that doesn't sound.
Like a person who's going to come after you.
But that also
Wow.
isn't the mindset of a very healthy individual. as
No,
well.
True.
So like that, I thought was
nobody
interesting.
jumped on
Nobody,
that,
yeah,
but
that
there's-
prosecutor sucks.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
they cut
Look
that
at him!
out.
I know.
Yeah,
Look at the suit he's
Look how much
wearing.
his suit sucks. He has to suck.
Look at the two of them compared. He's this snazzy, cool lawyer.
No,
and
this
he's
would
this
never fly.
stuck-up old
Matt's,
person.
Matt's outfit, bright
No,
green.
it does because he's blind. They're like, he doesn't know what he's wearing.
He's going for the sympathy play.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't even know what to wear.
That's just like a Lucky Charm.
They're like, don't tell him. He thinks
He
it's,
doesn't know. He thinks it looks really
so
good.
brave.
he thinks it's navy blue.
Yeah. You know, Spider-Man's talking to the warden or whatever, and she's like, yeah, I don't buy it either.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a little aside here.
He's like, I got a proposition for you.
Yeah.
I have a hunch. Let me into Moonstone's cell.
Just for a second.
I just need. I'll explain later. Is this trial happening at the vault?
Yes.
They go back to the vault.
Yep, it's taking place at the vault.
okay.
Can we address something else?
Well, yeah,
Like
that's
this,
why one of the
like-
guardsmen was the
Was the bailiff.
Yeah, like it's not
yes.
really an elephant in the room. It was just a thought I had while I was reading this. I was like, you live in the Marvel universe. You know there are superheroes,
Yes.
right? You have some idea, but you don't know all of it because you're probably not really paying attention.
You're not
to it
reading the
all.
books.
They have a jury. Do they have to be like, okay, so here's what you need to know about
It wasn't always
Venom.
like this.
Here's what Venom is.
He was innocent once before that accursed Spider-Man ruined his life. And here's all the things that happened. Sin Eater.
Venom, you want to go into your spiel?
Venom is it's like a costume, but it's actually an alien.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
these people
All the
have
superheroes
to
went to a
consider
special
all of
planet.
these things.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
got. Yeah.
I would
Okay.
assume that that's Matt's job is to
Right,
explain all
to
that. and
contextualize
maybe they cut
Venom.
that out.
I also assume that S.H.I.E.L.D. comes in afterwards and wipes their minds.
maybe, but like I was like, that is these people are just really taking this one like, okay,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, they read the news.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It is a jury of his peers, so yeah.
If you lived in, if in our world there was a Venom, you know there'd be like magazine articles and stuff about like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
does the symbiote work?
Literally,
though?
there's one major metropolitan newspaper dedicated,
Yeah,
and has been, to
but
the
that's-
exploits of one superhero and his everyday adventures.
yeah, but that's all the way over. They're in Colorado. They're a totally different place.
Yeah, but there's no
Venom
way.
was
yeah,
transported there to a facility.
yeah, but I think the Daily Bugle is a national paper,
like the New York Times.
like New York Times.
maybe.
think
I mean,
we-
these
I
people
think
don't
you-
seem to have a problem
No, I
with
think it's at the
Spider-Man
Post.
being there.
So
That's
if
true.
there was only Venom, then everyone in the country would be very aware of Venom.
This is
But
a-
if there's dozens of heroes,
Well, they're
and
at a
villains-
prison filled with people like Venom.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just so funny. Like they're just like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, okay.
You know, I never really heard that story,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Am I still getting a per diem?
My sandwich supposed to have mayonnaise.
They're just all taking it really well.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, page real estate. Right. So Eddie gets off.
yeah, it's not
They're like,
guilty
yeah,
by reason
not guilty.
of insanity.
And Brock's like,
Not guilty
yeah!
by reason of we don't know what's really happening.
yeah,
Yep. So Brock's
This
like,
entire
yeah!
court is insane.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
And he's like, he's chumming it up with Matt. He's like, this is amazing. And Spider-Man just shows up, and he's been belligerent the whole book, so it pretty much tracks. And he's like, hey, Brock, I know you're full of crap, but I'm gonna.
See, no, I didn't think it tracked because he had that moment with him.
Yes.
I was like,
Hey,
he's-
man, I'm not gonna give
I'm
it
like,
up.
he's doing something. I'm like,
Yeah,
cool. Where
I
we
know.
going?
As soon as he went, I'm like, Spider-Man wouldn't just start breaking the law,
No.
whipping up this
That's
man has
not.
been declared innocent.
No.
Whoa, whoa!
At
It's
a-
not against the
an
law
angle.
to web a citizen.
That's assault.
Yeah, it is
That's
assault.
assault.
You call it assault.
Dude,
Prove it to in a court
It's just
of law.
a prank, bro.
Yeah,
It's just a prank.
It's just a prank.
Just prank.
Yeah, I'm gonna pants him next.
So anyway, he grabs Brock and he just hurls insults at him.
Yeah. He's just a total
You're a
asshole to him.
loser,
Yep.
and you're a liar, you're a fraud.
Pathetic, envious.
Yep.
You look like a monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're drawn like a horribly disgusting cartoon character.
Anyway, so he gets Brock's goat,
Yep.
and Brock just
it works.
and
Well,
Brock,
Brock punches him.
Yeah.
Which first of all, Spider-Man's like,
that was a strong punch. Too
Well,
strong
And
for a
you
regular
caught
guy.
me.
Yes.
Yeah,
you were
and
fast enough.
my spider sense didn't warn me.
And it only isn't triggered by the symbiote.
Right.
So,
So the
Brock,
joke's up.
so Brock vomits the symbiote out of his body.
He looks.
It was inside him the whole time.
He looks like he's made out of spaghetti.
Yep.
Not only that, but the symbiote looks really disturbed by what he went through.
I was in your small intestine.
It wasn't worth it.
There's a lot. There's a lot about this that I love. From him ripping his clothes off while he does it like friggin' Hulk Hogan.
You don't need to
Well,
do
these
that.
aren't my clothes. You're my clothes.
Yeah, I haven't worn clothes in like a year or two. This feels forward and horrible.
I
to me.
assume it's also he's just like everything that's happening to me is the worst, and this dress shirt and slacks are not
not gonna
helping
cut
me.
Yeah.
And also the onomatopoeia of him saying bleh.
Blag.
Blech.
Bleh. Anyway, Venom is returned.
I love how tiny
Yeah, but is
it
that
is too.
him
There was
doing it, or is that
so much coming out of his mouth. Blech. That is not the sound you made.
That is the sound of Matt Murdock vomiting off panel.
That's the suit of.
They're like,
the
why
sound
is
of the
he
suit.
vomiting?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can't see anything.
No, that's right. Nobody can
Oh, it's
hear
the
it.
smell.
He can hear and smell all of
I'm
that.
being anyone else seeing this.
Yeah.
Why did you throw up?
Oh.
Punch.
So Venom's
Kane!
returned. Spider-Man and Venom have a classic Spider-Man
They have
Venom
a big
fight.
fight.
Venom's
Yeah.
like, you ruined everything. You spoiled everything, you bastard. So then Venom decides he's going to have a little trial of his own.
I love this look.
His
He
suit.
turns into a judge robed Venom.
Because the legs are still like have
Because he
symbiote
uses
clinging to them.
yeah, but he uses most of the symbiote to create that. So yeah, he does not say that he's going to be judge, jury, and executioner.
No,
Just
he's
like
not
judge
Judge Dredd.
and jury.
Yeah, no, but like,
And which I'm like, why are you so
everyone
restrained?
says, yeah, everyone says they're going to be the executioner.
Yeah.
and he doesn't.
And he specifically doesn't add execution.
And I think it's because Peter David's like, well, I'm not a hack. Like everybody's going to use that trope.
I'm not a hack. I am gonna make a pun of a hanging judge.
Oh, that's even better. That's actually clever.
That is clever, but I was gonna say that like the judge jury thing. Maybe that's an indication that like Venom's like, and you know, if it goes okay, I'm gonna get off of Brock and
right.
yeah.
right back onto you because
Right. The suit still
I am in
wants
love
him.
with you.
Yeah, I sentence you to being with me forever.
Blah.
Crazy X.
So Spider-Man's dying, and then Daredevil shows up and stops Venom.
Yeah.
So we get Daredevil and Spider-Man
he's
fighting
Irish.
Venom, which is a thing that I've never seen before, by the way. I've never seen
Really?
Daredevil get to fight Venom, which is kind of fun. That's actually the whole reason I wanted to buy the book, was because of the cover. I'm like,
Well, did-
Daredevil and Spider-Man fighting Venom, that's awesome. I
Did
wanna
you
see
enjoy
that.
your 3 panels?
Yeah, 3 panels of it.
Yep.
I think I needed the benefit of it being 20 years ago for me to really enjoy it. But anyway, so Venom is like, oh, wait, we hate you too because you were in the Sin Eater story and I'm tethered to that, so meh.
Even though you defended me and got me.
Yeah, even though you defended me vehemently and
Yeah.
like became my friend.
All I'm saying
Don't you
is you
suck.
did a very good job,
Yeah.
but like, you
But
know.
you also contributed to my destruction.
And then Matt wrenches his shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah.
By falling on a rock.
I want to kind of put that in quotes because I think he's like, I don't want to fight Venom.
This is this is way above my pay grade.
I am not. I do not have the proportionate strength in terms of the spider.
You are huge.
Oh, my shoulder!
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts
Sorry,
so
Spider-Man,
bad.
get him! Give him one for me.
I softened him up for you.
So Venom's gonna kill him, and Spider-Man drops on top of him.
Yep.
They fall down a hill. They go into a nearby cave.
Spider-Man just runs away.
No,
into a cave.
Spider-Man runs away and has Venom chase him.
Yes.
And he uses his spider
He's a
light.
little spider
Yes,
light.
which I love. It's
And Venom makes fun of it.
Yeah.
It's great. Oh, you're using your
stupid
stupid light.
spider
Oh
light.
no, he does his violator jaw.
Spider-Man's more dodging
Yeah, he's
Venom
jumping
than
around.
engaging him.
Yeah.
And then eventually lets Venom just kind of do a big lunge for him, knocks Venom out of the way, and it is revealed the hologram technology.
Yep.
They built a.
set
were
it
on
up
the
at beginning.
holodeck.
They were on the holodeck. Yeah.
Venom's not even there.
No, Venom's definitely there, and he's been locked in this special holo cage
Yeah.
that Spider-Man cooked up with the suspicious.
It's his original cell.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was a larger
I thought it was a
area.
larger. Yeah, I thought they built a new
I think it
cell
was like
in
a
there.
new area that was larger so that they could have a big, stupid fight.
Oh, I thought it was just a hologram technology leading to his
No,
cell.
no,
Okay,
no,
never
no.
mind.
It's like a
They
cave.
built a
that
cell,
They,
though.
they built a cell in the cave.
In the cave.
Which
They'll
is like,
incapacitate
now
it.
he's just going to be in this really big cell,
Yep.
I guess,
Yeah,
until
yeah.
they...
So they knock him
Yeah.
out or whatever.
Yeah.
And move him. In
They had
any
to-
case,
they had to build like an elevator and stuff to go down into the cave. It was a very gigantic operation.
but very quickly implemented.
yeah.
So
Well, it's union work.
I assume they had the room.
Yeah.
It was probably
Yeah.
for something else.
They
like
had to
Rhino
bust
or
a
something.
hole in
Yeah,
from
like
the cave.
anyway, so Venom's defeated. He has a hilarious moment where, like, when he realizes he's defeated, he just goes, "Ah!"
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a panel of ah.
The jackass. So then we're back in New York, and Spider-Man and Daredevil are like, whoo!
That was crazy.
That was a crazy adventure, but what's next?
yeah. Good thing nothing changed.
Daredevil's shoulders all wrapped up.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
don't
right.
know
I
if
forget
that
he
would
was
actually
injured.
do anything, the
Also,
way it's wrapped
They
up.
do that a
How
lot
does-
in the comics.
How does Matt Murdock play off having a hurt shoulder after this?
No, that's just for Spider-Man so that he still buys
Yeah.
why he jumped out of the fight.
Yeah.
So,
Man, you fight ninjas and stuff, right?
Oh, my arm. Oh,
Still
my
sore.
arm.
All right, well,
That
why
was-
are you out patrolling tonight then?
Oh, well, you know.
How are you swinging
just-
around?
I saw you
Sweeps.
swing here.
Yeah, I was using my good arm.
Uh-huh.
See?
So we reveal that they're like, whoo, that was crazy, but you know what? I still
Yeah.
believe it.
Right. It's like, well, because I guess the symbiote was on him the whole time.
Yeah, he's
so
like, we don't
this
really
was
know.
not an example of dealing with the real Eddie Brock. That
No.
was still Venom Eddie
Still
Brock.
Venom.
I
Spider-Man's like,
contend
who
that
cares?
real Eddie Brock without the symbiote is still
Well,
a good guy.
they do prove that because, like, when Venom pops out, it's revealed that Venom was inside of Eddie
Yes.
and he was controlling
the whole
everything.
time.
He was controlling his
heart
pulse.
rate. That's
yeah.
how he beat.
The lie detector of Daredevil.
Oh no,
Daredevil.
they took a
actual
lie detector.
Yeah.
and
He-
Daredevil.
And Daredevil.
Yeah.
but he didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
he was defeating Daredevil.
No,
That's
he did
true.
not. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a tease for the Venom spin-off series, Venom Lethal Protector, immediately
Right.
after this. Just a little ad for everybody. Hey, you know what?
Don't forget, he's still a villain, but
Or
now he's kind of a
not.
good guy.
Yeah, but he'll.
But maybe this run-in
Yeah.
will have taught him a little lesson.
Well, this is literally going to feed directly into the story arc where Venom kidnaps Spider-Man's parents, and then at the end of the adventure, they come to an agreement, and they don't go after each other.
So he takes hostages and forces Peter to let him.
More chicanery takes
So he's
place.
a terrorist, is what you're
I
telling
mean,
me.
no question about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the story. It's a standard, run-of-the-mill,
Yeah.
everyday Spider-Man adventure. A little longer than usual, and you get some extra stuff in there. Daredevil crossover.
Yeah.
You get to have a new set change. They're in Colorado at the vault. There's an Avenger story where the Captain America and She-Hulk and so forth fight people like Venom.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, but where's the pre-crime stuff where they're going and investigating? You know, the law version of the Law and Order episode.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh yeah, where we get to a factory worker who's like, yeah, I think I know Venom.
Yeah, I worked with Brock before.
No, it's got to be a cafeteria worker
Right.
at the vault,
Yes.
someone
I've worked with Brock.
Yeah, he's a
He's
good guy.
Good
Really
inmate.
turned over a new leaf.
Yeah.
Always eats
Excuse
his
me.
peas.
So there you have it. So what do we think about this? Initial thoughts.
I enjoyed it as a regular Spider-Man issue. I was like, this is what I think a Spider-Man book is. I haven't
Yes.
read actually that many, but
No.
this seems like what I imagined.
It's there's a little more in it, but there is only the A plot. Usually in a
Right.
Spider-Man comic, there's an A,
yeah.
B, sometimes
It's
C.
jumping around,
It's
yeah.
got a lot of stuff because they're like, there's no way we're gonna hold your attention with this story with Venom and the Vault
Yes.
the whole time.
Well, there's not
We gotta
much action.
Yeah, we got to check in with Aunt May. We got to check in with Mary Jane, maybe J. Jonah Jameson, something like that. In this full story, no junk in it. It's actually it's a perfect UNICEF kind of comic. It's just
straightforward.
It's just
Anybody can pick it up.
Yes, anybody can
follow
pick it up.
it.
Any kid will be like, you look at all the action, and you got to eat your peas because there's also some legal stuff in there. There's some
Yeah,
jargon.
and that was my favorite part
Exactly.
of it. Like the vocabulary in here is pretty good too. There's some higher level words in
Yes.
there, and I'm like, okay, this is
pretty-
actually.
Yeah.
I
You
would
could do
give
a
this
book
to
report
any
on
kid
this.
and be
Yeah.
like, this is a great book. You should read
Yes.
this book.
You can get a
Absolutely.
sticker for Book It.
I tried it. Trust me, they did not count comic books. So
They weren't in charge. Your parents were.
no, my school they.
Like, and which books did you read?
Oh yeah, you
That's
had to
not
bring them
okay.
in. You had to give oral reports on all of them.
That's not okay.
Oh yeah, I showed them. Anyway, I showed them because what I did was I just decided to I just made up the plot based on the cover. I just stopped reading the books.
Nah,
And they learned to not call on me anymore.
Yeah.
Aha! I win.
That's right. Because I'm like, my parents are taking me to Pizza Hut anyway. So, ultimately, the cover was the only thing I saw of this book for decades. So, finally getting to crack it and look inside.
What did you think? Were you satisfied, disappointed?
I think that if I were the age I was when I wanted it in the first place, I would have felt very satisfied. I would have loved the hell out of it, and I would have got a great poster to go on my wall.
Yeah.
As an adult, it feels very dated, but I kind of want just the trial.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this book is not about the fight. It's not about is Venom really innocent or not,
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. It's about the opposing views between Matt and Spider-Man,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and the fact that really Spider-Man just will not forgive Eddie or
Nope.
Venom or believe that there's any rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And Matt's like, I don't see the world like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does highlight the differences between these two characters, and
it's applicable to life.
Yes.
Venom is not, but the idea that how much do you blame somebody for their actions if there's extenuating circumstances?
Exactly.
And somebody steals a loaf of bread. Well, what if they were starving?
Exactly.
What if a Venom symbiote was controlling their actions?
Yeah.
Literally.
And he's like, well, it wasn't controlling mine, and it's like, yeah, but
Right.
it was different. You know,
Yeah.
you don't consider the feelings of the suit, which Spider-Man never does.
Right.
He's never like
yeah.
he never at any point until much later is like, you put that thing through hell.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, well, it tried to eat my brains, and it's like, yeah, not in the beginning though.
Yeah. What if it was like a dog?
Right.
It can't help itself.
Yeah, you can't blame the dog at
Yeah.
a certain point.
I actually really appreciated the fact that this is actually, I counted the pages, and it is a almost now current standard length comic book. I mean, for some, it's not the 17, but it is 20 something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty standard length. It maybe a couple pages longer, but not a particularly long. We're not cracking 30. We're not even cracking the high 20s for actual panels.
Right.
But it does something that most books that try to do this can't do. It tells you a complete story, beginning, middle, and end, without being trite.
Yes.
Which is blows my mind. We don't spend too long in any one place, in my opinion, and we don't wrap up too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also don't get how did we get here?
Yeah.
Oh, let's tell everyone's backstories again.
Yeah, they also somehow in one Spider-Man team-up book checked all the boxes for what you might want, right? We do this establishing thing, here's the mystery, right? And then we establish Spider-Man and Daredevil hanging out together. They're on an adventure I haven't seen.
Yes.
And I don't need to. They defeat some guys.
Yeah, they have a conversation and fight bad guys.
Yep. Yeah.
So you get the action if you don't want to read the panels,
Yep.
and you get the story
So-
if you're interested in
So
story.
if I know nothing about Daredevil, and I my parents got this for me, I'm like, that's a good guy. Got it. Cool. Moving on, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Then we do get the civilian moment, but we still have Spider-Man. We don't have Peter Parker in this. We just
No.
get
True,
Spider-Man
there is no
beginning,
Peter
middle, and
Parker.
end,
Yeah.
right? So if I'm buying this because I like Spider-Man,
You're getting it.
I get Spider-Man. So we get the downtime kind of stuff. You get the emotional impact that a lot of Spider-Man comics try to have.
Yes.
So if I'm not familiar with Spider-Man comics, now I know what to expect. We get a good feel for who Matt Murdock is, right?
Yeah.
We get a villain who will become a complete classic villain
Yes.
for Spider-Man. He is what a lot of people struggle with MCU movies, where it's he's almost the opposite
Yeah.
of who Spider-Man
Yes.
is, but, is a really, I don't want to say he's a great villain.
But he is kind
But
of.
he is,
At this point, he is Spider-Man's greatest nemesis.
Yes, exactly.
The prosecutor blows the case?
Yes, that guy.
Yep.
We get to see Spider-Man using his intelligence, even though he is impetuous in this. He uses his gut feelings and also smarts to set up something to test his hypothesis.
Right.
And saves the day because
Because Matt constantly justifies his morality,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man just quietly is right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and Spider-Man, this instance could have gone either way, and if it had gone the other way, he would have just apologized.
Yeah. They just have an extra cell.
Yeah.
Okay, oh well.
Well.
I'm so
Good thing we were prepared
well-
though, because in case.
Yes, but he would have apologized to Brock, been I really didn't
Yeah.
believe
didn't
you, and
buy
I
it.
should have, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I just had to test you.
But that for me, I was
Lives
that is 100% Spider-Man.
Yes.
And then you get a fight.
Right.
Like you get a
get the
And you get the fight that was
get the
promised on the
punching.
cover.
Yes.
Venom versus both
Like,
superheroes.
you
It's
kinda
not in the courtroom, so
No.
it's still
No,
a lie, but
it's
only
not
like a small
quite.
lie.
It's
But you-
thematically.
You get the superheroics at the beginning,
Yep.
and then you finish up with like that. And you
Yeah.
get like the big splashy, like people punching each other, whatever.
You even get the superheroes fighting each other, not physically,
But
verbally.
but
Yeah.
Yeah,
in sparring,
philosophically.
philosophically sparring over whether Eddie is genuine.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get a poster.
and you
And
get a
the
free
poster.
And you get the free poster. But like, and at the end of the day, he's defeated in a very satisfying way.
Yes.
Like I feel like it's a very
cleverness.
satisfying and with cleverness and also with moral like correctness. Like yes,
Right.
no, Venom's not dead, and I know it. I also
Right.
like happen to know something about science,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's dead.
Right.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
you get
And you use the thing that you set up at the beginning of the story.
Yeah, the holograms.
Very satisfying.
You use
I'd
that-
forgotten about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But then
I was
when
like,
it pays off, you're like,
oh,
right.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You also like you get the opportunity to also end the book kind of how it starts.
Yep, Spider-Man and
well,
Daredevil.
it's both ways. You have him back in the cell
Yep.
where he began,
Right.
and you have Spider-Man and Daredevil back in New York talking the same way that they were. I'm like,
Yeah.
Wow.
this is a tight
That's Peter David.
book. Like this is just tight, and
Dude knows story structure.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
yeah. And like they use another device like that I had kind of forgotten about. Like we all know Matt Murdock can hear everything, right? This book makes sure to tell you that. Because at the beginning, remember when Spider-Man and Daredevil are talking about how he's going to have to go out there and like, you know, defend him and all that, and Spider-Man says the whole like, you could just lie. And he's like, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that, even though you know I can hear a pin drop.
Right.
And then Spider-Man uses that knowledge that we now have as the reader when he's fighting Brock, and he's whispering to Matt, and he's
Yes,
like,
he's
hey,
using, like,
I
subsonic.
just need you to not
Yeah.
do this. And he knows Matt can hear him. And
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah. It's like, just go
you
say,
set that
I-
up
yes.
at the
Yeah.
beginning for a reader who may not know this.
Yep.
Yep.
It's brilliant.
It's just
Yep.
it's
And
really
like,
clever.
It puts it in like a dashed box. So
Yeah.
you kind of see like this
And-
is different.
That's what it is.
and you
That's
see
what
like
it
the
Yeah, it's like going
like you
into his
know
ear,
he's using
yeah.
his powers for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You
That's
also
really clever on Spider-Man's part too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can secretly communicate with this person.
Yes.
which
you
is
also get
kinda
this
cool.
horrific panel, which I never want to see again, of Spider-Man grabbing Venom's jaw and like his fingers are in his mouth and the teeth are
between the teeth.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Like, how did you do that without like cutting
I-
your finger on one of his
I-
teeth?
They're not sharp, they're just pointy.
I 1,000% don't ever want you to do that again,
Yeah.
Spider-Man. David had to walk the line of like knowing that people who are reading Spider-Man are picking this up. Collectors are picking this up because it's something special.
Yep.
But there could be new people coming in with this, so we had
Yeah.
to like tell enough backstory, but also just rely on the fact that like
You know who these
you
people
might
are.
know or like you don't need to know. If you're
Right.
picking up a comic like this, that like maybe you're just interested in what it looks like.
Yep.
And I'm gonna try to bring you in with like
Yeah,
who
well,
these
I'm
characters
gonna give you
are.
some background anyway.
And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
flesh
Maybe
in
get you
there.
hooked.
Yeah.
Like
There
there's
is.
actually some substance. It's not
Yeah.
one of those
I
books
was
where
like-
it's where it's flimsy, where it's just like, oh, and there's nothing in it.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
flash pictures.
Peter David did also write another special one-shot for a charity, and that was Hulk versus Venom, which we covered on back
Yes,
issues.
we did.
Wow, he
That
really
is
likes.
super terrible.
Yeah, that was not good.
What the hell?
And that one he like really clearly phoned in.
But that one also looks awful.
Did that one come after?
I think it came after. I think
So
after
I
the
do
success of
wonder
this, they
how-
were like,
Yeah.
"Do it again."
Well,
And he's
I wonder
like, "Oh,
how well
no."
it actually did.
They're like, but Hulk?
Well, I think
there's
it was
nothing there.
I think it did well because they did it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Hulk versus Venom, that was after Venom was already established as an anti-hero, and it was just like, well, there you have it, everybody. Normally we'll do 3 books, but this time just 1. I think that was enough. That was. I'm glad. We all
Yeah.
nothing to besmirch this experience. We just enjoyed it. Oh, stop showing
was
me
just
him
nice.
vomiting Venom.
Except
for
for
that. Well, we'll see you guys next time with another episode of The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. If you want more, of course, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you here. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long.
Oh God!
Bleh.
I hope it made like a crazy like tornado sound. Like
Here you guys. Oh God, I'm just gonna.
That was a lot.
it was a lot.
Why did you make that sound?
Why did it come out in a full body form? Like it's literally like
Right.
it paralleled his body.
It was like shriveled up inside
Yeah.
him, but in that same shape.
It was
Yeah.
like a coiled spring of a suit of
Yeah.
a being came
I just-
shooting.
Boing.
Yeah.
It could have come out in any manner of ways. It could have oozed out of his
Yeah.
pores, and
Which
like
it has
poured
done.
out of
I've
his
seen that before.
No, that's the thing. They said they tested his skin and it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
also
But
has
you didn't
it has
test
it
his
has
stomach
approximated his
lining.
epidermis. Like it has actually created like a second skin for him.
But it could have come out from if we're going to admit that it was just alive in his stomach,
It could have been anywhere. It could have come out his butt.
Yeah, he could have been like, oh no,
That's-
Pull
bend
my
over.
finger, Spider-Man.
That's only
Fart.
if you were Venom, Ben. If you were Venom.
Venom.
Guess where all the teeth are? My butt.